Hi everyone, this is Chris with Peace of Mind Art and Crafts, and welcome to my channel. I'm continuing on with my 6 journal production here. I'm doing the assembly line fashion of 6 journals. I have completed 4 of them, and I'm getting ready to start on the 6th one, but I need to finish up the 5th one first. So let's do that. After I'm finished with all 6 journals, I will come back on and show them to you. Do a flip through of them. But for right now, I'm going to be working on the cover of this journal. Here's the cover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for the front, and I'm going to secure ribbon underneath this flower pot. This was found on G. Kerr's channel, and she'll teach you how to do it. It's like with folding paper, and it has a pocket, and depending on if you glue down the back or not, then you can have a pocket in the back also. So I had made this quite a while ago. I made about 3 or 4 of them, and they turned out really nice. I really liked them. There's lots that you can do with them, and lots of different papers that you can use. You could make them to fit into a pocket, but I'm going to glue this one down to the front. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, is to glue the ribbon that I'm going to use for the closure. I'm going to glue it down to the journal and then glue that over the top of it. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I have cut 2 pieces of seam binding, and this is the Hug Snug seam binding. I've cut 2 pieces of this, both the same length, just because I wanted kind of a little bit thicker ribbon. Okay, I'm going to find the center. Find the center of the ribbon. And I want the tie to be over on the side, and so I'll glue this down to the front in the area where this will cover over it. If I wanted to, I could also glue down something on the back to hold the ribbon down, and I think I might do that. I usually use, let me get them here. I usually use these lace hearts. These are really pretty. What I get from Hobby Lobby in the wedding section. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to put this aside for now. And I'm going to use my fabric tack to glue down the ribbon to the front and back. I'm going to glue it about halfway. And on this front part, I just need to put a little bit of glue here to hold down the ribbon. And actually it's seeping through to the other strand of the ribbon, but I'm also going to just put a little in between them. Now this will show through, so that's why you don't want to glue the whole length. You just want to glue it on a little area so that it can be covered over by whatever you're going to put on it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bend this over. Excuse me. Because I don't want, I do want this to be in the correct position. And if I have it open like that, it might be too short to reach. Okay, I'm going to glue that one down. Put a tiny bit there. And then I'm going to put my glue around my heart. This is made out of fabric. It's burlap with lace on it. And it's kind of stiff. It's not flimsy, so that it makes it a little bit easier to glue it down. Then I'm going to place it over kind of halfway mark. Instead of this heart, you can use anything else that you might want to use. I would suggest that whatever you do use be kind of flat on there. And then if you want to put something else that isn't flat on top of it, then you can do that too. But start out with a flat piece to actually glue the ribbon or the seam binding down to the back. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to open this back up again just because I want it to be, see how it kind of has this little area in here that's kind of a gap for the, you wouldn't be able to do that if you glued it clear across like that. You wouldn't have that give in it that you need for it to close. Okay, so let's glue this flower pot down. And if I wanted to, I could leave this open on top for a pocket, which I am going to do actually. But I'm going to glue, since it goes across the ribbon here, I am going to glue part of this top part. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to turn it over like so. And here is the area that goes straight across. I'm going to go a little bit above that. So it still gives me a room for a little pocket, but yet I'm gluing that so that that's the part that fits over the ribbon. Okay. Glue here. Make sure you catch the edges, and then you can also put some glue on the inside area. I'm using fabric tack. Since this is kind of a thick paper after it gets folded in all these many folds to make the flower pot, it's fairly heavy and thick. Okay, now is the time where I'm going to try to get this to fit on here successfully. And I'm doing it so that these this lavender that's in here doesn't go beyond the top of the top of the page. And this part glues down to the ribbon. What you're just doing. Okay. Now I do, with the fabric tack glue, I still have a little bit of maneuverability, where if it isn't straight, then I can kind of turn it just a little bit. But I think I got it on there pretty well. If you want to know how to make these flower pots, let me know. I may show you how to do it if you want me to do it, a demo on it, a video on it. I can do that. Otherwise, you can also check with G. Kerr's channel. She has it on there how to make it. Okay, there, I got it glued down. I'm going to set that aside to dry, but I wanted to show you how it closes here on the side. Okay, this fell out of the inside. I put that back in. That goes in right here. There we go. So with this one, that completes my 5th of my journals. And remember I told you I was making 6 traveler's notebooks, or you can use them for other things besides traveler's notebooks, just regular journals. That completes 5 of them, and then I'll show you how I'm going to get started on the 6th one. Okay, and then I'll show you a flip through then. Okay, I'm trying to fluff up. I've got two here, remember. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wad these up so that I can get them crinkled. I like the crinkle look. What happens is these will come slightly unwrinkled as you go along, and you can always like wrinkle them back up again in this manner. And the heat from your hands should wrinkle it fairly well. And then you kind of poof it out there a little bit. And that's how you get the wrinkled ribbon. Pretty? Turned out nice. I really like that. I used the same ribbon here that I had used to put on the flower pot. And I'm not going to put a tag in here. You could very easily put a tag in here. You know, when the person who purchases this journal gets it, they can put a tag in here that if they want. I thought this lace was so very pretty that I didn't want it covered up with a tag, so I just put the lavender sprig in there. Okay, so let's bring out our next journal, which is the animal journal. Okay, I've got all kinds of stuff I want to put in this journal. I've got the pages that I picked out. Remember we said the cover was made with scrapbook paper, a sheet of scrapbook paper that was glued down to a sheet of cardstock. And then I, since I was making these in an assembly line fashion, I sewed around all of them. I made all 6 of them at the same time. Okay, I don't think this one's going to have too much on the cover other than maybe a small place where it says Traveler's Notebook or Traveler's Journal or something. So, what I'm going to start by doing, and you can decorate your pages before you put them in or after. I've got my pages kind of set here as far as, and I'm going to check and make sure that they all fit in there well. Looks like this music sheet is a bit large, but I think that's okay. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then if I need to cut it off later, then I will. Okay, I'm gonna get my sewing kit out and sew it together. I'll show you that. And when I was in the process of making all these journals, you watched the first video, then you'll know that I selected different items to go on the inside of each journal, including pages and ephemera. And then I put them inside the journal. And then I went back and did like one journal at a time. I could have sewed them all together first, but I didn't do that. I decided to do them separately, as long as I had them kind of planned along the way. And it's taken me about, I haven't worked on them all day or anything, but an hour or so here and there. It's taken me a couple of weeks to do them, to do 5 of them. Okay, so we'll use this color thread on here, I believe. The beige. Here's my pokey tool. I use this compass as a pokey tool. You can use an awl as well, or anything you have that will poke through. Okay, let's get this clipped so that it doesn't shift. So you make sure you get everything inside. I try to get the papers so that they're situated inside the stitching, but that's not always possible. So, and then I put my clips on one at a time. Put them on the opposite page that I just put it on. Okay. There we go. Now you'll notice all my pages are not even, and I like it that way. That's why I made it that way purposely. It doesn't matter to me that they're not all even. You may want them all even, and that's fine. And measure and cut them. I usually cut them about 1/4 to 1/2 inch or less than so I didn't need that. I need my catalog. I usually cut them 1/4 to 1/2 inch from the edges of the book. Okay, and then I put this kind of acts as a cradle for when I'm making my holes. And I make 3 holes. This is just a 1 signature book. I make a hole in the middle. Okay. Then I make another hole about 1 inch down from the top and bottom. Okay, we'll put this book away, and I'm going to still leave my clips on there, making sure that they're stable and in place while I'm sewing in the signature. Oops. I am going to get my needle out. My thread is going to be, I'm going to make it 3 times the length of my journal. 1, 2, 3, and that'll give me some extra thread to hang below or above for a to add charms and so on to it if I want to. Okay, now if I want my some of this is repeating for some of you, and this kind of more for a newbie that is just watching a journal video for the first time. The rest of you could fast forward through this part if you like. If you already know how to do this, that might be a good idea. I'm going to thread my needle. Now, if I want my thread to tie on the inside of the book, then I'll start on the inside of the book. If I want my thread to tie on the outside of the book, then I start on the outside of the book. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different because I know that I'm not going to be putting a lot on this cover. I'm going to start from the outside of the book and go to the inside, and then I can tie it on. Okay, now it is hard to see, and especially on fabric, but on paper too. So I'm going to go through so I can see where my hole is. Then I'm going to take that out. I saw where my hole was. Take that out, and then I'm going to gently poke it until I get it through. Then I'm going to pull it, and you can wiggle it a little bit if you're having trouble wiggling it. gravel pliers. And you can use that to pull it out. And that works very well. Okay, then pull it till you have a little bit left. I'm going to leave maybe a little bit longer tag just in case I want to add a charm or something to the top. Okay, so I came up to the middle. I'm going to go down either the top or the bottom. It does not matter. Okay, and see how my thread is getting so it looks kind of doubled here. I'm going to pull it out a bit so it doesn't get doubled over. Since this thread is waxed, it makes it really nice to that it doesn't come unthreaded. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down to the next hole, and I'm going to pull that up. Use my pliers again. There. Okay, this video is going to cut off, and I'll make 2 videos out of this. But just in case it cuts off, then know that it'll start right back up. We will join it. Okay, so I have it. I check it and make sure it's taut on this side. You can see where it's taut. Pull it back. Both threads. I don't want to rip it, so I don't pull too tight. Then I'm on the inside. I came up on the inside, so I'm going to go back down to the outside. Okay, and when I come back up on the outside, I want to come up on the opposite side of where my first thread was. And if you don't happen to maneuver that properly, you can always just slide your needle underneath and get back on the correct side. In this case, I was on the correct side. So I'm going to pull a little bit here. I'm going to take these off right now, since I have that snug in there. Okay, and I can leave the needle on or take it off, whichever. And I am going to tie at least twice. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And then check to see how much I have hanging down. I don't quite have enough hanging down to make a charm if I wanted to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one more knot. And then I'm going to leave these hanging down for now. See that? I'll leave those hanging down for now, so that I can add charms. I can either add them down here, I can add them up here. I think I might add something up here. I think that'll look cool. So for now we have our book bound. Let me show you the pages. Now some of these pages are white, and what you can do with that is you can either stencil on them, or you can take your ink and rub it on there to give it kind of a less white, or you can glue down to the paper, like if I wanted this to be here. Okay, I could make this a pocket if I wanted to. As a matter of fact, why don't I do that? Let's make it a pocket. Okay, I'm going to make it a pocket. I'm going to turn it, and about halfway down, I'm going to cut a little thumb hole in my paper. And this is kind of big for a pocket, but that's okay. You can put maybe some important papers in there. It's big enough for an envelope to go all the way down in there, so that you could store a letter in there, or maybe just some writing so that you have. Okay, I am going to ink this a bit. I hope you all are doing well. Hopefully I'm coming up on the time when I'll be able to get the vaccine, so I'm kind of very encouraged about that. And I think I will see where this paper is white. I'm going to kind of go over it with my on the outside of it. I don't have to do too much where the pocket is going to be. Makes the page not quite so white, stark white. Okay, and I inked around here. Okay, I'm going to take my art glitter glue and glue that pocket down. Need a drink of water, excuse me. Glue just the sides, remember, because this is going to be a pocket. You can, if you want, put a little bead of glue, and I usually do that right here. It just adds a little bit more stability to the edge where you have the binding. Okay. If I wanted to, I could decorate this pocket. So let's go through all the pages, and then we'll go back and decorate some of them. Okay, here's an envelope, a vellum envelope that I made. This is actually digitals that I printed. They're digitals to kind of mimic coffee dyed or tea dyed paper, and I printed them on both sides. I print them on both sides to get this look. Here's another one. Music sheet. Here's another paper that was white on one side. This is actually wrapping paper that I've had for a while. I like it because it's mimics the old Crazy Quilts, and I liked the colors. I thought the colors went well with this journal, with the browns and oranges and grays. Okay. Book page. I haven't checked this yet. This whole book really doesn't have any bad words in it, but sometimes if you don't want to have the journal have something in it that that you wouldn't want to read, so most of the time I cover over most or all of it. Okay, this is the middle of the journal. A lot of times in the middle of the journal I will put a page that is very decorative. But on this one, I didn't. I just thought, well, I'll make a lot of pages in this journal that you can actually write in. So that's what I did. Here's the other side of the wrapping paper. This is nice wrapping paper because it's not shining. I really liked it. Has a little cat on here, so it fits in with our animal theme. And then here's the other side of all the papers. The other side of the vellum envelope. What I did before I put this in the middle was I folded the envelope in half, and then I cut this side so that it wouldn't get caught up in the middle. I cut it before we did this. I can actually cut this a little bit better to mimic more of the corner. And I would use my corner punch, but it doesn't work very well on vellum, so I'm just going to go ahead with the scissors and excuse me, and clip this a bit. There we go. Nice sturdy page. This was a book called Birds Worth Knowing, and I used this book, and it has many illustrations of, I took it apart naturally, and it has many illustrations of birds. Okay, here's the opposite of this one that we made into a pocket. And I most likely will also make this one into a pocket. Another thing I could do is glue this down to here and make a pocket out of here, a side pocket out of this one. Many ideas. And then here's the last page. We do need to decide what we're going to glue into the front and back of this journal, because I will be putting something there. Okay. I'm going to go back, and since I did the other one as a pocket, I'm going to go ahead and do this one as a pocket so that we're kind of on the same wavelength. And like I said, when I'm finished with all these journals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a flip through of the 6 of them, and then I'm going to put them on my Etsy store. Okay, and if you should happen to see one that you want to purchase before that, just let me know in a comment, and I will get back with you about it. Oops. Okay, and I have some things coming up in February, which is the month that I started my channel, February of 2020. And as you know, it's also the month that COVID became readily known to man, even though it was known before that. So I'm glad that I started my channel then, because it's really given me a lot of things to do, and it's just kind of saved me. I can do my videos, I could talk to you, and thank you again for being subscribers. I am going to have a subscriber giveaway coming up. I'm at a little over 300, and my subscriber giveaway will be in February, regardless of how many subscribers I have. And I'm not sure for how long it will be yet, but I'll be giving away some really nice journals and some some slow stitch items. Okay. That makes a nice pocket. This I probably will just let go and stay on its own. Now, when you come across pages like this that you can't really write upon, this is a good place to put a space for a photograph. So I might want to, I like this paper. I might want to put, a sheet of this paper on here so that a photograph can be attached to it, glued down. And also, you know that you can use your own photographs, or you can use the Tim Holtz ones. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Usually I'm going for my photographs to be about 2.5 by 3. this a little bigger. Yeah, I like that size. Okay, I'm going to glue that down to there. I don't think I'm going to do the edges of that or anything. I'm just going to glue it down on all sides. It's a little bit uneven. See if I can even this up. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I could ink that around if I wanted to, but I don't think so. And like I said, these pages that have an all-over print that's dark and you can't really write over them, and you can use them for photographs. Or you can put pockets on them as well, but I like them for photographs because they afford that opportunity. Okay. And I have like I said earlier on the other, on the first of this series of making these journals, I try to put a flip through in each one, and some tags that I pre-made, some pockets. Here's a snippet that was on a snippet roll that I made. I usually try to include one of them. These are a couple of tags. I try to include a ribbon or a paper folded, ruffled, what I call paper ribbon in there. Here's a couple of my slow stitch. Actually, this one's a snippet ribbon. That actually I started to sew this, and I found that the tape that I put it on was too sticky and it was gumming up my machine, so I didn't do that anymore. I just left it as glued on there. The first one I did, I used a less kind of just a real lightly tacky tape, so that worked fine. But this heavy duty gluey tape does not work as well. And here's a tag that I made in a different video for a pocket. Let's see if I might like that there. I think I do. So I'm going to glue that down. And decide which way I want it. I don't like it that way. Sorry, it's off camera there. And this is the pocket, so I just glue it on the sides. Okay, I like to press down with a cover, dry wet wipe or paper towel to catch any seepage that might come out. Okay, and you can leave these little threads hanging, but sometimes they get in the way a little bit. Let's see if I have any tags to put in here. I kind of like this one of this fawn. I might need a bigger tag, but for right now I'm going to put that one in there. And maybe I'll put this one as well. I need to make something on this tag, so I will do that. I like that. Okay, let's find a place to put some of this other stuff. Here's one that I had that has, since it has animals on it, I cut it to fit. Actually, this might be a little bit. Oh no, this will fit on here. On a page, I don't think it will fit on this page, but this will be a pocket, or I probably will use it as a belly band. Let's find a place to put. You see what here it is. This looks like. That doesn't go there, so we would put it on a different page. kind of like it there. Let's do that. I'm going to use my fabric tack since this is fabric. Also put a piece of lace on top of there. Let me see after I get this on there if it needs a piece of lace. Okay, I'm going to burn out a battery here, so I'm going to end this pretty soon. But I just wanted to show you my process of working on each journal. It's pretty much about the same. So on here, and these fabric flips are so that, and then of course they flip up so that you can write underneath here. Okay. Show you the front again. When I come back to show you a flip through of all the journals, I will have this one finished as well as all the other ones. I thought maybe about putting this on here on the front with a with some brads for the holes here, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll let you know about that when I come back again. I have been making a notch at the top with a grommet to hang one of these little tags from, which I may do on this one. And I'll decide how I'm going to do the closure, and I'll show you that when we come back. So thanks for joining me today, and I'm going to continue on my journey here. See you back next time. Peace of mind to everyone.